We here?
We are.
We live?
We come in peace.
Oh,
we came to invade your planet and take over.
What?
And then we saw some angry orange man and we left.
Jesus! You think aliens are here?
Oh yeah,
Remember
they talked about that?
I was just listening to Joe Rogan and how they were speculating because there's been so many different things about.
Talks about is Joe Rogan.
I'm sorry.
I think he wants to be on his nuts.
There's only 3 people in this planet that I care to meet. I've met a lot of celebrities working at the casinos.
Yeah.
And it's like I used to be so starstruck every time I would see a celebrity, and now it's just like I could give a fuck less now because I see him all the time. But seeing him would be different because I saw him last night.
Yeah,
I went to go see Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah,
at MGM Garden
comedy
Arena
show,
which was cool. It was the first. I've been to a lot of concerts. I've never been to comedy shows before. Mm-hmm. It was fun. It was fantastic. It was very it's funny is because when you go in there, you have to put your mask in a little bag and your smartwatch. Because it's a recorded event because they put it on specials like Netflix and stuff like that.
Like HBO and shit.
Yeah, so you can't bring you can bring your phones, but you can't use your phones. If they catch you with your phones, they'll kick you out. Oh. So that's how strict they were. They even said it in the beginning. The hype man in the beginning said if we catch you on your phone, there's no warning. You're getting the fuck out.
Wow.
You're getting ejected out.
Just tap you on the shoulder.
But it was cool is because when everything was going on, it was just they give you masks with the names Chappelle or Rogan. And Chappelle, it's like a little blunt, and then Rogan, it's an alien.
Okay.
Yeah, and they said they wanted you to wear a mask during the show, but it's not mandatory. So people just kept the mask. Nobody fucking wore it. And it was like so packed. I'm talking like shoulder to shoulder, like you're sitting on a plane flight, kind of packed. It was completely sold out.
Yeah, I believe it. Well, it's like one of the first events people can really go out to.
Yeah, well, that's what I was. I haven't been to an actual event since 2019.
Yeah. And I have a feeling that's going to change, but we'll jump into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Aliens. Did you hear about how the whole Pentagon, they were going to have to release the documentation about the aliens?
They were supposed to that they had documentation because there's a video of that naval ship that was able to see a jet crash into the fucking water and then just disappear.
I still have my issues with that just because of the way they were talking in it.
Yeah.
Like when especially my stepfather is military, so most of my family has been law enforcement or military. And you see how they conduct themselves. And when I listen to that video, he's like, "Oh yeah, we got it. Mm-hmm. Yeah." It's like, who? You're in a jet following this thing, bro. No one's gonna sound like that, at least from my experience. No,
they're not. They're more kid-like than
whatever. They were supposed to be talking about aliens. Mm-hmm. A lot of it was just a bunch of redacted information. It was like, "Oh yeah, on this date, redacted saw redacted, and then this was no longer redacted until later on redacted." And it's like, okay, so I don't know what was going on.
No,
who was there or what they saw, but I know words.
It's a lot of touch and go stuff. There's so much shit out in the open air right now that, like I said, just hearing the whole alien thing, the more it's crazy. In 2021, it seems like a more realistic thing than it was back in the X-File days, back in the early 1990s.
But see, that's the thing. Supposedly aliens have been here, supposedly, air quotes, since not since the 30s, but they've supposedly been visiting man.
People were joking about I was listening. There's a YouTuber called Blippi, I think is what it was.
Blippi?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no clue. What is a Blippy? I know what a bloopy is.
I don't.
Please
know
don't comment on that.
Yeah, it's called. There's a Blippi and it's called the Harlem Shake video, dude. Oh my god, it got censored. And again, not to reiterate Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan said the reason why aliens won't land on Earth is because Blippi puts videos of the Harlem Shake and it's literally him shitting on a toilet and then shitting on his friend. He goes, so his bare asshole is shitting on another human's bare asshole. Normally Mother Nature kicks in and then just starts killing everybody at that point. Like, no. Mother Nature doesn't even know what to do with it. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Aliens flew by, they landed, they're like, all right, let's see how these humans are doing. And then they see the Blippi video of him doing the Harlem Shake on shitting on a toilet.
No.
And they're like, yeah, no, they're not ready yet. Flies right back up in the sky and then takes off into another universe.
It's like that SpongeBob meme. All right, I'm gonna go now.
I'm gonna go now. Yeah. That was just, I looked at it and I couldn't stop laughing. He goes,
honestly, aliens could have been experimenting with us this whole time. It's not like you would know. So what if they've just been making us more stupid?
Dude, I don't fucking know.
What if you've been abducted and you did not know?
Look, we were talking about this a couple days ago on how I try to keep in the loop with everything. But I don't want to be a part of it.
Yes.
I just want to be knowledgeable.
Because there's a lot of shenanigans. Mm-hmm. There's too much. There's too much. Moving forward. So you went to the show. How did you like it? Did you like all the acts?
You know what? The guy who opened for Dave Chappelle, I don't know who he is, but I remember remember the Chappelle show?
Yeah.
He was a regular that was on that show. So wow. I recognized him before. Like you know how they used to have Charlie Murphy on there? It'd be like an extra one, Charlie Murphy. when they used to have that. This guy was the opening act, and it was he was funny. He was okay. The guy who opened for Joe Rogan, Tom Segura, which I didn't know he was going to be on there.
Yes, I have no idea what that is.
Hilarious. He was funnier than all three comics combined. Because just some of the shit.
That's ridiculous.
Some of the shit he was saying. Because if you look up Tom Segura's, broken arm, broken leg, he was talking about it on the podcast, on the episode, and his first reaction when he looked at his wife when he broke his arm, he said, "I wonder if I can jerk off backwards now because my arm is tucked behind my back," or give himself a reach around. And his wife looked at him, shook her head, and goes, "No, Tom, no." And then Tom looks down and he goes, "Yeah, no, Tom, no, that's not right." Tom was good. Joe Rogan, regardless, I was more fanboying than anything.
Yes.
Because the fact is, he's so smart with his networking is that I thought he was just like, the whole show is meant for Dave Chappelle, but Joe Rogan was an add-on, and he's coming all the way from Texas to do the show, and I was like, well, why are you only here for a day? It's because tomorrow there's a huge UFC fight, so he just stays in Vegas.
So he's pretty much making a cameo.
He's making a cameo. He's like, let me make some money selling these tickets, and then let me go do a show at T-Mobile Arena. So he was talking about some of his stuff, and his comedy, I've never heard it before until that night, but it was funny.
I mean, I've heard his comedy's kind of hit and miss.
It is. It's a hit and miss because it's an older crowd.
I was going to say, he's old school, though, so it's like his comedy is a little more raw.
Yeah, it's a raw, drier kind of comedy, but it was funny. Dave Chappelle's was rough.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle is a very old soul kind of like, no, I don't want to call him racist. I don't know, man. It was rough. Even for me, I was like,
I think they squeezed the racism out of Dave Chappelle at this point. Like, Dave Chappelle was, I would say at once upon a time,
I used to watch the Chappelle show. He was funny, man.
He didn't really care too much about it, or I should say he didn't put that out there as far as like the media and like the public.
Yeah.
But now, it's like after a certain point, like me and you talking about, like when we get so old, you just stop giving a shit. So I think at a certain point, he's just like, you know what? I don't want to pretend anymore.
No, he's like, I stopped. He goes, I've been doing this for a very, very long time, and it went more often to like a story concept of I can't adapt fast enough to keep up with the times.
Yes.
So I'm not going to change being who I am, but for me being who I am in my era and time, I come off as a racist, sexist, transgender phobic, like everything. And he was literally breaking all that into detail, and it's like I was learning more about it than I was actually laughing at it. I'm like, this is more of an educational thing than an actual comedian thing.
That's difficult to know that you went from probably one of the funniest people damn near on earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He used to be fucking
like we
gold.
lost Cat Williams.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. Well, Cat Williams got choked out by that 16-year-old.
Oh, it was a wrap. It was long before that, but his career took a just wow.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be attacking children. He got wrecked. But I mean, we've lost, Bill Cosby and all of them, Richard Pryor.
Oh, yeah.
They were good comedians.
Are we covering that today?
Oh, we might as well talk about it.
Yeah, about Cosby.
He's out of jail.
I forgot about that.
He's out of jail. He used his little jello.
There was already a meme saying, make sure your kids hide all their pudding pops. He said because the pudding police is out of jail.
He slipped. He was like,
got my pudding pop. He's struggling, dude. He wouldn't have made it in.
No, he's not, because it's funny. There's a clip of him, like his son or whoever was like walking with him, and he was doing these little jazz moves real quick, and I was like, oh, okay, you trying to show us you still got it, okay. But it's me and my girl were talking about it. It's funny because I said, you have people on two different sides of the playing field with Bill Cosby. You have the people who've known him and that have known this side of him, the good side, the nice, loving, normal side, who are just like, he can never do any wrong. You know what I mean? It's not as bad as they make it sound. And then you have the other people on the side of the fence that are like, dude, burn him at the stake.
Yeah.
Cut off his junk.
I was looking at Philly D when he was talking about it, and he was pretty much like just screaming off the fact of him being a scumbag, which it's like,
it is what it is. You know what I mean? A lot of the allegations were just that, allegations. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not here to defend Bill Cosby. I'm not saying he's innocent. None of that. I'm indifferent on the whole situation just because I am. And so, but it's funny because it was like only one or two of the convictions actually stuck. So a lot of times he served in jail.
I don't even remember what the issue was when it came to why the convictions weren't.
It was a lot of drugging and unconsensual act, and pretty much it was like, well, this happened 10, 20, 30 years ago. I didn't say anything until now. And I get it, because there shouldn't be a time limit on when you can come forward and confront your predator or your, the person who hurt you or anything like that. However, I understand, evidence only lasts so long. Certain, marks and bruises and things like that only last so long on the body. And, you just can't retrieve certain things after the fact, after a certain amount of time. So neither here nor there, but it's just one of those things where it's crazy to see. You have people on both sides of the fence, as always. Yeah. The people were like, we're glad he's out, and the people were like, he should have stayed longer.
Yeah.
Moving forward, something I wanted to cover really quick. Shikari Richardson, she's amazing. Like, I know it's funny. So I was telling you, like, to me, she looks like Starfire because, like, she, when she ran, because she's a runner, she's headed towards the Olympics. When she ran, pretty much, you know, everybody knew. I think she broke a record. She had a wig on. It was like burnt bright orange.
Really?
Yes.
So she looked like Starfire.
She looked like Starfire, dude, and
dope.
she was running like super duper fast.
Yeah.
So she looked like she was almost flying.
Yeah. Where's she from?
I think she's from the South. I don't want to get her. I think she's from Georgia.
Really?
I think it was somewhere in the South.
You know how rare it is for her to break records and it be in state? Because
Bro.
that fool was it Usain? He's from not South Africa, Nigeria.
Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt. Yeah,
he's from
Nigeria.
over there.
Exactly. Like completely.
And they're like built to run.
They're built to run.
For
That's
some
just their
reason,
genetics.
they just run forever. But she broke the record. It was funny because a lot of people were giving her shit about, you know, oh, you're wearing fake nails, you got a bunch of makeup, you have fake hair.
Matter.
I said, bro, it doesn't matter. If she can run as fast as she can run, she's gonna make more money than you or I criticizing her. So it doesn't really matter, honestly, at this point. But she did her thing. Unfortunately, she got tested shortly thereafter.
Oh, you were mentioning that. Yeah.
Yep, and she got caught with some THC in her system. Now, I get it. A lot of us understand, you know, but rules are rules, and that's just how the Olympics work.
I didn't know that I guess never mind, because marijuana is not legal across
it's
the board.
still
it's not considered a...
What is it called? It's something, I forget the
It's
terminology.
not, you can't use
something federal offense.
Yeah, it's not considered medicinal or medical or anything.
Yeah, it's because for some reason having people chill out.
An athlete, it's good for them.
It's not good for you because it makes you slow down.
No, but think about it. It's good for you as far as, like, say, if I go train in a fight tonight. And the night before, let's say I have a fight tomorrow.
Yeah.
The night before, I can't sleep. I'm struggling. I'm stressed because I have anxiety.
Yeah.
You smoke before you sleep. You go to sleep.
Yes.
Wake up feeling refreshed.
But as an athlete, that's not how it works.
Why?
Because you shouldn't put anything in your body that could hinder your full out performance.
I wouldn't hinder it.
Now,
it's like the equivalent of putting in steroids.
I agree with you.
Long term, it'll hinder.
Now, I agree with you. For me, especially because I smoke full time. You know, it helps me sleep. It helps me deal with my anxiety. It used to help me deal with my back pain, but then I got in the gym and fixed that. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of an exercise fixes a lot. But it's like, I get it. So apparently the whole situation was her mother had passed away shortly before her having that run.
Right.
And so she was just trying to get her mind off the situation, decided to smoke some weed. And I was like, that's cool. You know, I get it. You know, some people, that's their coping mechanism.
Right.
That's just how you get by. It's like, okay, I'm going to smoke real quick, get my head right, and then, you know, I'm back on track. You know, so I get it, but like I said, rules are rules. She got suspended for 30 days, which is really not that big a deal. Her biggest, I would think one of her biggest sponsors, Nike.
Yeah.
They're still sponsoring her. They're just
so she didn't get stripped? A lot of times, sponsorships, they'll just end up stripping
She didn't get completely boned. People were trying to be like, oh, the Olympics, they're racist, and this and that. And what was his name? Damn it, I can't believe I forgot his name. Homeboy who won all those medals.
Michael Phelps?
Michael Phelps. How he got caught with weed in his system or something. Or
they stripped his Subway.
Yeah,
his
he lost
Subway thing,
one or two trophies or something like that. And I was like, these are the rules. You know what I mean? It's not racism. This is, if anything, this is like full on all inclusive. You know, no matter what race or gender you are, you know, you can't break the rules. You know, she knew what she did. She took full responsibility for her actions as an adult. You know what I mean? If you're mad at her, it's stupid. If you're not mad at her, you know, keep cheering her on, because no matter what, I think she's 18, 19. Like, I think she just got out of school.
Oh, she's still a kid.
She's super duper young.
Yeah, see, I don't know anything about this person, so I didn't even know. But yeah, she's still a kid. That's crazy.
You know, I've been hearing here and there, you know, in the multiverse of social media, and it was just like, dude, she's still super duper young. She has her whole life in front of her. A little bit of weed ain't gonna stop her. You know what I mean? So, you know, Shikari,
as long as it doesn't fuck with her.
You know what I mean? Keep whooping ass. Keep doing what you're doing. Head to the Olympics. Win us some gold medals. You know what I mean? Represent the colored folk.
The states. Let's jump on to the next.
He's floating in that. So we got reopenings, you know, with the no mask stuff. And then we got hit with more cases.
Okay, so you were kind of giving me bits and pieces of this.
Yes.
And I do find this pretty fascinating, because I didn't even know we'll cover what you told me when it came to what was going on.
Me and Lynn talked about this in a few episodes, when actually Lynn had brought up the fact that they were going to start lifting the restrictions and masks weren't going to be mandatory,
and
so
it's,
on and so
just
forth.
It's full board. Not to interrupt what you were going through. When I went to the concert last night, it's funny is because they lock up the phones and everything like that, so you don't record anything since it's a special. But then they also do this thing where they gave you customized masks which is why we got on the whole alien topic.
What's up with that?
Is because Dave Chappelle's mask, it just said Chappelle with a little blunt on it, and then for Rogan, it was Rogan with an alien on it.
Okay.
Nobody wore the mask, even though they were saying we would like you to. Nobody wore it, and then it was literally just shoulder to shoulder,
right?
Like being on a plane, kind of shit. And it was just the arena. When I was sitting there, I was looking around like, maybe we can kind of finesse moving forward. No, it was so packed, so fast. The restrictions went out the window.
It was like the time we went to that Nickelback concert.
Forever ago. Not even. It's like I only went there because they had, what was it? It was Hoobastank and Chevelle.
Yes.
Yeah,
oh
Nickelback
my God.
happened to be the headliners for it.
That was amazing.
But yeah, but it was because it was a seating venue.
Yeah.
So it's not like general admission.
You were sitting down.
You're sitting down the entire time.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's nowhere to move at all.
But it's funny to me because I was telling Lynn, I was like, bro, this sounds like a setup, and I didn't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist or like a fearmonger, but it just didn't make sense that COVID is not gone. But yet we have multiple states like back to back to back lifting their mask requirements. Now, I get it with the mask requirements. A lot of people liked it. I didn't mind. I'll gladly wear a mask, especially if I'm out in public, if I went to a store or if we had to go shopping, grocery shopping, whatever.
So
I wear my mask.
And I'm opposite, which sucks to say. I can give two shits about it. After everything that I've learned when it comes to working for a casino and how the CDC laws run.
Yes.
Even Fauci put out there, the masks don't work.
They
so
don't.
Why
it was expected to wear what, 3-4 masks?
You're supposed to wear it in general, and it comes to the fact is that, and not to reiterate again for Joe Rogan, but it's like supplementation, vitamin D, the things, zinc, the things that were protecting your body from the natural strain of COVID or any kind of ailments. The reason why there hasn't been so many flus and sicknesses is obviously the social distancing, which is different. And I understand the masks were probably stopping the general spread of germs, but people started taking fitness into consideration and they started supplementing their diet for better nutrition.
Yes, because underlying issues were a leading cause of death.
I walked around more times than not, and I, regardless, just for my friends and family and stuff like that, I would always have to get tested for the antibodies to make sure that I wasn't going to give it to anybody. But I never needed to get the shot or anything else outside of that because I never got sick because I took care of myself. I'm not overweight. I'm not obese. I'm constantly active. I'm around people all the fucking time.
And you're not 40 and up.
That's what I'm saying. So it sucks to say, to lead for what you're going to be bringing with everybody about how, well, here, I'll let you explain that.
Well, so
what's going on?
We
that I didn't even know.
We found out the masks are coming off. I said, this sounds like they want people to catch COVID. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. If COVID's not gone, why would you let people take off their masks if it's that serious? So then later on, about 2-3 weeks before they lift the mandate for the mask.
That was just here, though.
That was here. But so before that, on the other side of the world, across the pond, over in Japan, China, Europe over there, they got hit with the Delta strain of COVID, which apparently is obviously a separate strain, still COVID, but a separate strain, apparently far more aggressive than the normal COVID strain we could have caught when it first hit the market. And so now it's like, okay, so over in Japan, China, and Europe over there, Germany, I'm sure, and all them, they're throwing on their mask mandates again. COVID cases have gone through the roof because people, like Lynn just said, are gathering. They don't care about the numbers. They don't care about capacity because capacity went out the window. So shoulder to shoulder, we're all breathing in the same air. And it's like, dude, of course, whatever limited cases of COVID were already floating out there, they're going to spread because now people just don't give a shit.
No,
they're just going to go.
You can't reinforce. It's not going to happen. It'll never happen for the state.
You have to rely on the natural immunity of the people.
Yeah, it's not going to reinforce trying to. I don't think the United States will ever go back to full lockdown again, just because they're
going to try. Trust.
They're going to never
try.
Ever get passed through doing it, just because there were so many different laws per state.
Yes.
It became a country, like a United States thing, and now individual states put up restrictions to have to apply by that law now.
Yes.
Meaning, like, not to say because Sisolak is a bitch, but if Nevada decided when let's say Biden's like, hey, we're going to reinforce this, everybody has to put their masks on and follow COVID guidelines, which means lockdown, blah, blah, blah. Nevada could say no. Like, no, we don't want to.
Yes.
And that's what's crazy is that if you're not going to do a full amount, there's no point in trying to reimburse it or restart it because you're only going to get a handful of people that are going to do it again.
Yes.
They will not get by doing it again because they know that there's no gain from it.
While I would agree with you, here's how it's going to work. It's going to work the same way they did when COVID first hit. They're going to fearmonger. Because like I just said, supposedly this Delta strain is more aggressive than the original COVID strain. So now they want you to get booster shots, and there's going to be more vaccinations going out because supposedly this new strain is going to, whereas the original COVID didn't, this new strain is going to wipe us out. And that was one of the things, you know, I didn't want to go into. It's just because it sounds like they're stepping up their game. Mm-hmm. COVID didn't get enough people to get vaccinated. So now all of a sudden it's like, okay, we got to kick it into high gear. Here's a Delta strain. It hits you twice as hard, 4 times as hard as this and that.
Was there any? How did they find out about the Delta strain? Like,
apparently, it started.
Is it a mutation or is it a recreation of something else?
No, it's a mutation of COVID. So it came. I want to say it came from overseas because I heard about it being mentioned over in the UK first. Mm-hmm. So I want to say it came over from over there. We still had people traveling, you know, internationally and everything.
Right.
So now all of a sudden it's like, well, your vaccination may not be good enough.
It's always going to be like that. Vaccination is not even 100% protection rate. It's like
so
80-90%.
I hope they don't, because I'm sorry, I skipped over. So when they were having a press meeting with the president's little spokesgirl, mm-hmm. they were talking about maybe potentially enlisting the federal government to go door to door, making sure people are quote unquote informed about the vaccinations and everything. And it's just like, in my mind, I'm like, guys, I really hope it's not getting as bad as it looks.
Well, they were doing that because Canada is still in lockdown, I'm pretty sure, which is the sistering.
Well, I know Australia.
Yeah, so Canada's right above us.
Yeah,
Canada's still in lockdown. In Canada, what they were doing a couple months back is they were so strict with their social distancing and lockdowns that they were going into churches and like literally dragging. You remember that? They were dragging people out.
One minister.
Yeah, the minister started freaking. Viral. Yeah, started one viral.
Yeah, that was intense. That was intense. So, you know, just little stuff like that. So keep your ears to the ground, everybody. Stay informed. Stay focused. We're not going to tell you not to get vaccinated. We're not going to tell you to get vaccinated. It's your body, your choice. Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But stay informed. Mm-hmm. Moving forward, would you ever consider going to work for Amazon?
Oh my God, dude. I heard about it yesterday and I was laughing. I was like cracking up.
Ridiculous.
And it got confirmed. They were saying Jeff Bezos, because they mentioned it to him, and mm-hmm. They don't have him on record saying it, but supposedly there's some speculation of him saying that drivers for Amazon, because how people are becoming so particular about how they want shit delivered, and then Jeff Bezos within the year of COVID, he got a $70 billion increase. 70 yes. not 70 million, yes. Not 70,000, 70 billion. He got I don't even know how to fathom the amount of money that this man can reproduce.
At this point, he makes so much money, he technically doesn't ever need it again.
No, the money just gets thrown, and it's like, it sucks to say is that he's not. Elon Musk is the second running up for him, and Elon Musk does more for the country than.
Oh well, yeah.
Like he's
Bezos just make sure you get your shoes a day early.
Amazon became a mastermind kind of thing, and what was happening to sum all of that up is, let's say, did you ever watch that episode on South Park where Walmart got put into their town of South Park, Colorado, or some shit like that, or Dakota, where
that sounds ridiculous.
And it was pretty much to the extent is that you go work for Walmart, and it brings value to the town, which is a tiny little town, because there's more money coming in because people are spending money to buy shit at Walmart. Right. What happens is if you get fired from Walmart, you can't work there anymore. Walmart is Walmart bought the store next door, bought the cigar shop. Yeah, there's nowhere else to go. They monopolize and buy everything. Yes. So then when you try to go get a job at a gas station, that gas station is now owned by Walmart. Right. Since you got fired from Walmart, you're fired from the gas station, so you can never get the job. Mm-hmm. Amazon, what they're doing is that they're putting the drivers under so much stress. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're putting the drivers through so much stress and time restraints that they're peeing in bottles,
pissing,
and shitting in bags.
In a bottle.
Yes, they have to shit in a bag and order it up.
I used to piss in a bottle when we would go hunting. Okay, weird side story. Me, my brother, my grandfather, and my uncle, we would go hunting. Okay, we would drive from Vegas out to Utah for like 2 or 3 days, maybe 4. And on the drive, because there were such vast stretches of road with nowhere to go.
You're not going to get to stop.
No. You don't get to stop. So, of course, my grandfather and uncle, they would drink, I'm assuming, I think it was soda pop. Let's just assume it was probably beer. They were drinking. So if I had to take a piss, they would just hand me a bottle and say, go for it. That's
they're doing it now.
Amazon drivers should not be pissing in a bottle.
I get it to an extent, like the equivalent of like if you're on a post doing security somewhere and you're not getting relieved, nobody's coming to get you. You gotta go.
Yeah.
You're gonna go.
I'll give you that.
But they shouldn't have. It's females too that have to do it, and then nobody should have to shit.
Some
in the bag.
of them wear diapers. I have heard.
Nobody should have to shit in the bag.
Speculatory, but some of them have wore diapers.
And what they were saying is that the way that they were getting fired or let go is so they get a time restriction. Let's say they're delivering from point to point, and let's say they bring a table, and the table has to be put together. If the guest decides, or the owner decides, hey, I don't want to put this table together, can you do it for me? You have to go do it, and you're allotted 11 minutes and 50 seconds to do it.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's like the ones that was like, I'm good when it comes to a lot of things. I suck at building furniture because there's so many pieces, so many screws. You need time.
I need time
to sit there. They want you to break it down in 11 minutes. If you do not break this, you don't even get a call that you're fired. They send it to you on your little pad saying you failed your timestamp. If you do it again, then we're terminating you.
That's crazy. I believe it though. I believe it. If you got me pissing in a bottle just so I can make deliveries, now I feel bad for them because. Now, another side story. My entertainment unit, when we ordered that thing was like $200. So I'm expecting to get some decent instructions, you know, some little tools or whatever. That thing got here. I showed Lynn the instructions. There weren't any. No. There were pictures. Yeah, it said you're supposed to have this, and this is what it's supposed to look like.
It's just a guesstimation thing.
So I can't even imagine me asking my Amazon driver who had to lean the son bitch up against the wall because it was so heavy.
From driving around doing his shit.
Already tired. He had to carry this. I think the whole package itself was like 60 or 70 pounds. He had to carry that fucker off the truck to my door. Didn't even make it. He just leaned it on the wall and left.
Yeah. He's like, no, I'm done with this shit.
I feel bad for these people. So to hear that they're under stressful work environments, unfortunately, it's to be expected because the logistics company I work for, you hear some of the same rumors. You know, drivers just getting caught doing the most. But it's like, well, these people are under ridiculous time constraints. They're held to ridiculously high standards. You can't control the people driving around you. So if you get into an accident, it's going to be looked at like it was your fault.
Right.
Like, and then the people in the warehouse constantly getting injured, boxes and shit falling on you.
There was a bunch of things.
You know what I mean?
I had a buddy of mine, he was telling me, because he does, it was like air units and packaging for Amazon. His dad, I was just doing DTs with him, and he was telling me that the company that he was with, he went to go do something with one of the rotator fans that suck in air. I don't know how to explain it. It like sucks in the carbon dioxide in the air into this little fan vent and shoots it outside of the building, so that way you're getting fresh air flow.
Circulating
it's
the
supposed
air.
to be circulating, and he got called to go check it and do maintenance on it, and he stuck his finger in there. Let's go grab everything around, and it literally took off the tip of his finger. So he's spraying out blood and everything like that. They clean him up, take him to the hospital. They try to reattach it because it's literally just dangling off it's dangling off the fucking skin. All of this happened, right? So you're missing your finger, your index finger. Like the whole half of it is just practically fucking gone. 24 to 48 hours come by and they're like, hey, can you come back and fix the guys, because it's very limited staff for what it was in that area, but it happened to be because it was with Amazon. Right. They're like, hey, we know you had this severe injury. We have no one else can work on this. Can you come back and finish the job? And it's like, dude, it's been 24 hours. I'm still missing my finger. And you're telling me like you want me to come back and fix it. I was like blown away when he told me that. And after that's when I started doing my research into what Amazon actually did.
And that's why I tell people, know what you're worth. And these major corporations and companies and government entities should be so thankful for us, the average hardworking Joe or
Joanne.
Joanne, thanks for the cover. We should be praised. We should be celebrated. As a matter of fact, we shouldn't have to work nearly as hard as we do.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was an experiment done in Iceland, I do believe.
Yeah, no, it was Iceland.
Where they shortened the average work week. Yes, I said shortened it.
How would you feel? What would you?
I think I mentioned something like that in one of our, actually, like one of the first episodes we ever did. The fact that we work way too hard and don't get paid enough. So they shortened their work week from 5 days a week to 4. 36 hours a week. Bro, I can't even tell you how much I would get done after I had done the recovery.
So based off of my experience doing when I was on graveyard, I would work. I did graveyard security for 5 years, and we would get 4 10-hour days. So 10 hours, 2 extra hours, nothing too crazy. By the time our shit would hit the fan, we'd get there at 10. Things wouldn't pop off till around midnight. So for the first 2 hours, you're kind of just finessing it and going through. 2 extra hours in a day gives you a whole day off of work, which is it's just like it's amazing. It's amazing. It was so much more beneficial. I was never planning on leaving graves because work 4 days. Get 3 off. If I decide to call off one day, I now have a 4-day weekend.
No big deal, right?
Yeah, it's no big deal. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage. But they took that from us, and it became Graves works 5 10s or 5 8s. So because of that, I jumped to day shift. Everybody else fucking left because you're getting 1 day off, and the other day is just sleeping. So which
everybody knows when you really have your days off, they're not your days off.
No, exactly.
Life is a whole nother job.
Any job you get, they should offer you that. Hey, would you? Because I know Metro or law enforcement does this, at least with corrections. You can either get 410s, 5/8s, or 312s.
Yeah.
312s. So half a day, that's a lot.
That's a rough.
But you only got to do it 3 times.
That's fair.
And then you get 4 days off.
Yeah.
And then it rounds off to like every other few weeks.
It's
You might,
disgustingly decent.
It's decent. It's just doable. But it's like, if you want to grind it out, let me grind it out.
Right.
And then if you pick up an extra day's worth of work, it's all overtime.
Well, and that's what was crazy. So these people, not only were they working 36 hours a week, they were getting paid as though they were working 40. Okay. The experiment went well. I mean, I hope nobody is surprised by that, because just everybody who knows, anybody who has worked, I don't care if it was today was your first day, your 20th year, your 5th year, your 5th day, whatever. You work 40 hours or more a week, that ish is exhausting. You're done. Lynn works physically 40 plus hours a week. I work mentally 40 plus hours a week, and we're both exhausted in our own ways. I had to even take a break from the gym because I was so mentally exhausted. I could not force myself to actually push at the gym. So I was just going there to maintain. Like, I was literally just going there to burn off some fat and then come home, like sweat and come home. I had to take a break. It was just driving me nuts. So to me, that would be so amazing if we could shorten the average work week even down to potentially 3 days a week. Now, well, let's just say if we could split it up, whatever. There's multiple ways, multiple people are willing to do multiple types of shifts. But that was really amazing to me.
I think that's cool. I think that'd be a really cool flex for people if you ever got the opportunity to do it, because the company's still getting the same amount of work from the employees, but the employees get to decide.
Actually, they were getting more work from the employees.
Because they're getting more of their life outside of work.
Productivity was higher because, yes, when you have time to sleep, engage with your friends and family, enjoy your time off. Because Lynn has this little formula. It's funny, like he just said, you work 5 days, you're off for 2 days. You only really get 1 day off because you spend a whole day damn near sleeping. And yes, it's absolutely true. But if you have 3 days off, that means I get to waste 1 day, and I still have 2 days to do whatever I need to do.
And then you still wouldn't have to, on graveyard, you wouldn't have to go back to work until that night. Because you still have the whole day.
Which is pretty much the following day.
The following day. Dude, it was, it was
it's nuts. So I fingers crossed, fingers, eyes, toes, ears, everything. I'm hoping eventually, obviously we may not see that in our generation, but I'm hoping that'll become a thing down the road. You know what I'm saying? So some quick things, because we've been going.
Oh, yeah.
We're like the Energizer Bunnies, like, bah.
We're going to shoot off into the next thing, just because it's...
Well, 2 things. So...
What do you got?
The building collapsing in Florida. The high-rise condo.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And
dude,
that's...
I didn't really get to see a whole lot into it, and I know I should have been paying attention to it more. I just remember
you got a lot going on.
Yeah, we'll touch that up on the very next episode.
Yeah.
Everything that's going on
the long and short of it, people were chilling. This high-rise condo just collapsed one day. It just gave out. People were buried under tons of rubble and stuff like that. It's just a terrifying situation. Like, I could not imagine us, just say we're in a hotel room. You know what I mean? And then you hear a little rumble, the room starts shaking, and the next thing you know, what was up is now down on top of you. Like, that's incredible.
It sounds like a rock movie. What was that movie, Skyscraper, where it's like he's literally jumping from building to building trying to get the spots. It's unrealistic to be able to deal with.
You know what I mean? And all of it was caused by apparently water damage. I'm sure there were other elements in effect, but the water damage had corroded pretty much like the supports and the foundation of the building. And they had been fined. The owners had been talked to by the city or something like that prior to, and nothing was done. So now it's like the only reason I brought that up is because it bothers me that insurance, whatever, when it comes to us getting taken care of for somebody else's mistake, it's always like a reactive thing. It's like,
there's no proactive.
Like, we should have done something at that time. Oh, well, I guess foresight, or hindsight, thanks, Captain Hindsight. Yeah,
thanks, maybe Captain Hindsight.
We should have fixed that building a long time ago.
Shout out.
Why did we have to lose innocent lives for that to be the reaction? I would think we're humans. We've been alive long enough to know that sometimes shit happens. And, it's like I say car insurance is the biggest scam ever, because I got to pay insurance for something that may never happen.
Yeah.
But then if I don't have insurance and I get in a car accident, it's too late to get insurance because it's already happened. Yeah. So it's just crazy. It's like, well, there's no insurance for life. Oh, well, no, there is now.
There is life insurance. Yeah.
We've actually broken life down to a single dollar penny, which is insane.
It's there.
Last thing I want to cover is Britney Spears.
You know more about this than I do.
I know that was weird, but Britney Spears?
I just remember from vaguely everything that was before, the whole hashtag save Britney because her dad owned all her money.
No offense, but this was legit. Me and my ex-girlfriend went to a Britney Spears concert. She had a job.
What?
She had her job.
Yeah.
So we got stage. We were at the stage. We got seating or standing, whatever you want to call it. And her stomach, her abs were spray painted on. Like I was close enough to see. I was like, stomach muscles aren't supposed to jiggle like that. Yeah, they spray painted on her abs. So that was cute. Good show though. Great show. The reason I just wanted to bring it up and cover it really quick is because it's funny how me and Lynn, like when we reflect on things, like a lot of the child star actors we liked, actresses, musicians, artists they're like all fucked off. They're all tainted, and it's upsetting because you don't want to believe in the Illuminati and secret societies and organizations doing stuff under the table. But when you see the stuff that is happening to the people that we grew up with, the people we love, it's just like, it makes you wonder. It's like, is there really something going on behind the scenes? Because they all end up just jumping off the deep end. I'll give Justin Timberlake a pass. Maybe he's just holding it together really well.
Yeah, he's had a couple.
Shia LaBeouf, he was gone. Britney Spears, she's lost her mind a few times. Christina Aguilera. We had what was it? Oh, who was it? I forget. Linkin Park.
Oh,
Chester Bennington.
Chester Bennington.
He took himself.
You ever seen Stone Temple Pilots or Audioslave?
Yeah.
Chris, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
You know the singer?
Yeah, the lead singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He died around the same time Chester did.
That's
both
crazy.
Suicidal things. So
who is the dude from Drake and Josh? Drake and Josh, you remember them?
Yeah.
Yeah, Drake. No, Josh. Who was the one that was fat and lost weight?
Oh, Josh Peck.
Josh. Okay, yeah. So Drake. Mm-hmm. I think he's in jail, or he's being because
Josh Peck is still doing shit like on like social media.
Yeah, no, this dude's been accused of grooming minors. Yeah, he's probably going to jail. I forget his name because I really wasn't into this show, but he was like a black kid. He was a little heavy set. It was in kind of like the Disney Channel.
Fat Albert.
Almost. Hey.
No,
it was. I forget his name, but he's been accused and or got arrested for grooming a minor. Type stuff.
What is?
It's a lot of these child actors are just growing up, and it's just the weirdest stuff. So now
Demi Lovato.
Like,
yeah. They all go through their shit.
Miley Cyrus.
Being a child actor is more strenuous. You're putting on adult responsibilities on someone that's underdeveloped.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like it's like what mind
shit.
Games are they playing with these people that they just snap after a while?
It's a profit thing. They don't care about their inhumanity or the humanity. They're more or less, these people make me money, so let's see how far I can push.
They're just going to milk you. They're going to milk you. I need you to stay close to your mic.
I'm doing some ASMR. I'm sorry.
For those of you,
I'm eating an apple.
For those of you who watch, oh no, I forgot the name. See, when I get put on the spot, I don't remember stuff well.
What was it?
There's a YouTube channel. They do they critique a movie.
Yeah.
And they'll give it like points. They'll be docket points or something for like little stuff. I forget what it's called.
Oh, I don't know.
But it was funny because one of the things they say is, it's like, oh, look at this guy. He's holding an apple and he's, they want to make him look more like an asshole. And standing up chewing an apple.
I was standing up eating an apple.
I was like, yeah, you look kind of like an asshole.
I'm trying to give you time, man, because you said you got shit you got to do. So
no, fuck what I got to do.
We got to jump.
The podcast is what matters.
Let's move on.
Sacrifice for the greater
good. Make it work. I got to eat this apple.
He's eating the
I'm
apple.
Hungry.
Batman with a kid and dog. Drove in through the morning fog.
Hey there,
Rover. Come on over.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Red-headed lady. Gonna eat an apple. Gonna grab a bite. Nope. I forgot about that. Hopefully people that are listening to that remembers Family Guy.
When Family Guy was funny.
When Family Guy was funny.
When Family Guy was funny.
The first or second year.
Hope everybody had a good 4th of July. We had great. We grilled like everybody else did. We had fireworks. It was hot as balls. Pretty standard procedure. All right. Lynn, you got anything else?
No, man. I'm good.
I didn't think so.
No.
We'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Goodbye.
We're wrapping this up. Guess what? We need you to check us out on Facebook.
Yes.
Patreon.
Please.
Twitter.
Okay.
Instagram.
Right.
ProjectAirwaves.com.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Anchor. You know what I mean? We have 6 different locations you can
there.
find us. We're all over the place. He's still chewing on the damn apple. He's like a horse. I don't know what's wrong with him. We are Project Airwaves. I'm D.
This is Lynn.
Keep your head in the motherfucking clouds.
Keep your feet on the ground, always moving forward.
We'll catch y'all in the next episode. Deuces.
Goodbye.